Getting the map draft going after all. So playing up for you guys. Only 60 seconds for Mixup to ready up, and there it is. We will not be making a new draft link, and this is going to be our map pool for the entirety of the best of five.
Best of five grand finals. GGEU. Mixup playing across the pond, and there goes Nepal.
I might have been right. What if Lijiang goes out here? That would mean Temple of Anubis would have lasted longer than both. Nope, there, down goes Volskaya. IDDQD might be taking out Lijiang here. We'll see. Nope, they take out Temple of Anubis, so they're a little bit moderated in their hate.
I mean, there are 5 payload maps, so it's very possible that the best of 5 pool will include all 5 payload maps. And yes,
and it
that's
absolutely
exactly
will.
What it is. So we're going to payload.
All payload maps are on the table here, and now they're just going to be banding out to decide which one we play first.
You have to imagine at some point that we know that the Blizzard devs and everyone watches tournaments, and they're kind of have their ear to the ground as far as the tournament scene goes. You have to imagine at some point they're going to look at addressing some of the things that make people not want to play these particular maps in a competitive setting, or then maybe they're just very thrilled at how successful payload is. One of the two, but I personally, as watching as much Overwatch as I do, would like to see a little more King of the Hill and maybe some control point, but if teams just don't want to play it for whatever reason, we can't force them to. I suppose we could. We're not going to, though.
Yep. So, take a look here. Gibraltar goes down, Nambani goes down, so our first map is either going to be Dorado, Hollywood, or Kings Row, and, you know, I think it'd be a little bit nostalgic to start out with Kings Row here.
Yeah.
Sort of going back to the basics in a way.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a map that both teams are very good on. Although, you know, at this point, both teams are pretty good on every map. I mean, Hollywood is a map that I would have taken as an advantage for IDDQD going into this matchup, but after seeing what Mixup did on Hollywood too, it's hard to really even give that map to IDDQD. Both of these teams have run the kind of tankless composition, different variations on it. So maybe we'll see both teams run a tankless composition and butt heads on it, which will just be absolute chaos and impossible to cast, but fun. We're going to Hollywood first.
And we're going to Hollywood. Gonna be the first map, and we'll get to see the vaunted IDDQD defense. IDDQD, we talk about Melty's defense a lot, but I think IDDQD has potentially just brought it up to the next level. They've shown us some really cool stuff in recent memory, and we'll just see what they bring out here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm out of lobby. I think I was missing it. I was alt-tab. So if you got a lobby invite for me, that'd be great.
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, once you miss the lobby invite once, you can't re-invite. Hex, you're off for the day.
It was a good tournament, and I hope you have fun solo casting it. I know how much you enjoy solo casting.
I mean, I won't have a voice for later today, but it's okay. But we are getting Hex back into the lobby. We're waiting for sides to be chosen. And
I think the winner of the tournament should have to play all the spectators on a team, and that'll be over in 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, we do have a full spectator roster here. We have me and you, and then we have Coucher, of course, an awesome dude, one of the GosuGamers admins. Without him, everything would crumble. And I don't know who the other people. I think their names aren't really syncing up with their Twitch names, but they're also casting on other language streams. I think we have like Spanish and Russian going today.
Yeah, we have Spanish and Russian today for sure. I think we're running 4 to 5 different streams of this tournament.
So it looks like we're just having the IDDQD defense, but we're going to see Mixup on defense first. IDDQD representing the offense to start things off here.
Yeah, Hollywood, definitely the flavor of the week the last couple weeks for sure. I mean, then Nimbani was there too. So it's really cool to see how the maps aren't just, you know, as much as I like Kings Row, it's really nice to not always be going to Kings Row first, not always seeing Kings Row in every single set, and how these maps are kind of changing now. Teams are evolving. So when one team gets really good at a map, everyone decides to play that and scrim that map, and they get better at the map, so that map becomes popular. Then a team gets really good at another map, and it's kind of this really cool cycle of how the maps in Overwatch have been working.
Yep. So, taking a look here, both teams saying that they're ready, and we'll be getting started on Hollywood here in just a moment. This is the grand finals for those who are tuning in. This is IDDQD versus Mixup. This is EU versus NA, which always sets Twitch chat afire with NA versus EU, but we are getting into it.
You just invited the spam. Why?
I'd like to see the world burn.
That's what Twitch chat is. Twitch chat is there for.
You always get it though. It's just sort of, I love the rivalry between regions. And it's so great that Overwatch actually allows you to sort of have this cross-region play and have it actually be playable. But it does make for some funny stuff where, you know, NA, EU, EU. So both teams not only representing themselves as they go for our prize pool, they are also representing their respective regions as well.
Yeah, Pluppy officially on IDDQD, so no more Pluppy Watch 2016. Absolutely one of the better players in Overwatch. Courted a lot of teams, liked the courting process. Pluppy gets around, but now he is firmly married to IDDQD, and they have been dominating tournaments. Beat Melty last night in the Creation Esports King of the Watch show match. They beat them 4-0 in a best of 7. Mixup re-emerging, getting the roster back together, cleaned up, and ready to play. Seagull has been destroying people with tires today. Pure has been hitting clutch resurrections. They've been fun to watch, and this is the finals we all deserve. We deserve it, really.
So, taking a look at the Mixup roster as they defend here, we got Harblue on the Reaper, Enigma on the Torbjorn, Puro on the Symmetra, Pure on Mercy, Seagull on Junkrat, and Milo on the Reinhardt.
Offensively, Internet Hawk, nerfs be damned, is going to be playing Winston. Coco is going to be on Reinhardt, and Nagrugabup is going to be on Lucio. Taimu on McCree, Chipsogen on Mercy, and Pluppy is going to play Pharah. So a double tank kind of standard composition here for IDDQD.
Yeah, good stuff coming out, and we've seen teams be very methodical about how they come in here. Not going too crazy in the beginning, taking their time, but Winston just going straight in. A little bit of a switch up, but Winston lives despite the nerfs.
That shield goes down so quickly, but Reinhardt's there to provide a shield for Winston. He gets behind Reinhardt's shield, and now they're putting some pressure on the port.
Well, Harblue took out Taimu, and that is one of the biggest picks you can have. Taimu has been sort of the engine of the IDDQD defense, and while he's the only one to go down, this is still looking pretty good for Mixup thus far.
Yeah,
and look at this.
Pressure. This is a strange fight where no one's really dying. Harblue does take out Naburjabup again, though, so 2 kills overall in this long fight, but now...
We have the res, though. Chipsogen able to get the res, does die for it. A defensive res is up. We do have a tire coming out. Where's the tire? Not sure where the tire ended up going, but interesting back and forth. Res comes out for the defenders, and IDDQD not giving up yet. They looked kind of bad for them, but they're still in the back. We have Internet Hulk popping Primal Rage, and this could be anyone's point thus far, Hex.
Yeah, Hulk plays a really aggressive Winston, which is why I think he's staying on it. He plays kind of a chasey kill Winston, whereas most people play it more tanky. But they did say that someone crashed.
Yeah, Coco crashed. But he's back, or something. I don't...
Okay, so
no,
we're
he's
not
still
regaming
in.
or anything, and he's also
I
back.
know,
So
I don't think we could regame at this point anyways. I mean...
No, I don't think so, but I'm glad he's back.
He's not back. He left. He full crash. So, a little bit of fortunate occurrence here for Mixup. That being said, Pluppy was able to take out the teleport. Some nice long-range spam from Pluppy, and you know, these things happen, but you gotta play them out, and IDDQD gonna try to make the most of this 5v6. Coco is getting back into the game, however, so...
Right, so a little bit of an uphill climb here, though. They are able to get back in game. Coco, of course, not going to have anything as far as ultimates go, and the ultimates on the side of Mixup are starting to become a little ridiculous.
Yeah, Mixup is fully stocked, and one of the ults is Molten Core, and I just want to note, Molten Core is incredible at defending. I mean, if the turret is up and Molten Core comes out, you're probably not going to be taking the point.
It might as well just lock the point for about 15 seconds because it's 800 health.
Yeah, they are coming in right now, and I think we're going to see a Molten Core any second as Pluppy goes in. Molten Core is out. That turret is firing. Taimu, though, was able to take out Milo quickly, and it's not doing as much as you might expect. Does take out Pluppy as he goes in the back and tries to take it down.
Yeah, that's just a poor decision by Pluppy. Molten Core turrets need to be ignored.
We have the offensive res from Chipsogen. Gonna bring people up. Pluppy is back in this fight, is right behind Milo, so don't count Pluppy out just yet. Harblue, though, takes out the bridge up a little bit back and forth, and Mixup still holding very, very strong here, Hex.
Yeah, Chipsogen floated up to Pluppy to try to help him out, but accidentally floated right over that turret and got taken out there. Yeah, right now IDDQD just kind of smashing their heads against the wall. Really uncharacteristic mistakes trying to deal with that turret in Molten Core mode. You kind of just have to ignore it, and it wasn't even in that great of a spot. It's sitting behind her. You could fight without having to engage in the turret's firing area. So a strange play from IDDQD, uncharacteristic mistake from Pluppy there, I think.
Well, I think Pluppy thought he could just burst it down. Unfortunately, turned to him at the very last second. That being said, IDDQD is going in. Off the Winston. Earth Shatter is down. Internet Health takes out Harblue quickly. That's big defense down. Tyre comes in, takes out Coco. Not not much more than that, so not the three-person tire that we've gotten used to. Defensive Earth Shatter comes down from Milo. Milo rushing in. Taimu, though, takes out Milo. This has been all sorts of brawling back and forth. We see a Death Blossom out coming up from the resurrected Harblue. Makes some space. Seagull with 2 kills thus far. IDDQD not giving up yet. They are still applying pressure. Deadeye comes out. Coco takes out Milo. And here comes IDDQD potentially taking this out. But look at that. Taimu dies to the turret.
Yeah,
Texas is so back and forth.
Finally worn off. Pluppy is going to be able to take out the turret. Finally, he's going to hold this high ground above. Resurrection comes off, though, and it's prolonging the fight.
Yeah, the Resurrect, really nice stuff coming out. Both teams brought out. They're throwing such good stuff at each other, but it does look like the momentum aided off the rocket to Pluppy is going to start taking a little bit of a turn towards IDDQD. But here comes we got Riptire coming in. Riptire actually didn't get killed there, at least per the kill feed. I'm not actually sure.
No, I think it got Coco, but Coco was just victoriously celebrating the capture of the point as a Viking on Valhalla. And now it doesn't even matter that he died there, actually, because he respawns right next to it. So a final take from IDDQD after the turret goes down. And we're going to see if they can roll this momentum in here, because the last thing you want to do is let Mixup get really set up on these roofs.
Oh no, they want to fly through there. They had to have seen what happened to Flat Earth, and they just want to go through. Look at Taimu, dude. Taimu really getting in there and really pressuring Harblue's Pharah. So IDDQD already looking a little bit more dominant coming through here than Flat Earth did. But Seagull took out Chipsogen. That means no Resurrects coming through here. Deadeye is going to come out from Taimu. He's going to get taken out in the back by Enigma, and we've seen Enigma use Tracer to such good effect on this map. He does get a punch in the face by Internet Hulk. But I think the damage has been done, and now IDDQD probably gonna have to back up and regroup.
Yeah, they did get the card mostly pushed through here, so they can take a different angle to try to get it if they want. They don't have to go to the right side or the left side for them on this push, but they've now let Mixup get in the position that Mixup wants to be in on the roof. Milo's on Diva. They've got everyone up there. Even their Zenyatta is sitting back on the roof now. This is exactly how they want to fight.
Yep, we do have another Junkrat tire coming out. Taking a look. Taimu in some trouble. Actually kills it before it kills him. So Taimu saw his life flash before his eyes. Milo takes out Pluppy, however, and that's a lot of offensive power down for IDDQD as they try and do something to set up here.
Yeah, but Taimu takes out Higher Blue too. Seagull is trading with it, and Bridge above. There's the tanks are kind of going a little nuts for IDDQD. I feel bad for Internet Hulk. I really like how he plays on his Winston, but in positions where he would have been dominating and holding positions last week, his shield is just absolutely melting.
Yeah, and I mean, take a look at this. This has been really good, solid play coming out from Mixup, and they're proving that this part of Hollywood can be really, really hard to get through. I mean, IDDQD, known for having a really crushing offense, is just really having a hard time of it here. And that being said, they do have some ults up. They have Resurrect. They have Barrage. Taimu takes out Harblue. Chipsogen goes down, though, so not going to get any more from that. And again, they're not really dealing with Seagull too well over on the left building.
Yeah, I like the switch from Reinhardt on to Diva, though. It got them a good position to take over the high ground. They did make some progress on the cart, though, even though they didn't have to take over the rooftops. Now, the roofs are completely still dominated by Mixup, but it seems like IDDQD doesn't want to take the fight to them in that way, and they'd rather just poke at the cart.
Yeah, and take a look here. We have IDDQD totally controlling the top here. Harblue has a barrage ready, and I think ult-wise, this is going to be very difficult for IDDQD as they come in. I mean, don't count on IDDQD ever. They're really good at making things happen without ults, but here comes the barrage from Pharah. Actually gets nullified a bit by the Winston, but Winston dies in the process, so Internet Hulk is down. No Resurrect will be coming out for him, and they kind of needed Winston up for that.
Yeah, and Coco now with the Discord orb on him, too, might be dying shortly. There goes Diva's mech, so both tanks down very quickly, and it didn't seem like the rest of the team was ready to push with them. They both kind of went in alone, and Harblue cleans up both the 76 and the Lucio behind that. So Mixup in a really good defensive position. There might not even be time for another push.
Yeah, I don't even know there's going to be overtime. Look at Mixup. They're pushing so far up here. They're going to throw on the Diva ult just a bit more harassment. Might even pick off a kill. It does. It blows up Chipsogen. And now look at Taimu. Taimu going to be the hero. Going to force it into overtime. But McCree is hardly the most tanky person to be on there. But Taimu takes out Harblue. He's starting to make a case. Pulls out the Deadeye. Will Taimu be putting the team on his back? Does land a Deadeye. A little bit nullified from the sound barrier. And a little bit back and forth, but hey, IDDQD not giving up just yet.
Yeah, I have no idea how Taimu is still alive.
I don't know. He's killing everyone, though, in the back. That being said, we do have a tire coming out. Tyre is going to die right away, though.
Yeah, but
And
Coco
look at
with a quick
Taimu
couple
just
kills.
killed that Seagull! What is going on? Taimu just... He activated an invisibility cloak or something because no one is dealing with him.
Yeah, it's just-
what is going on?
It's just the supports left for Mixup.
Oh my-
They're trying to stall out the cart. Milo finally comes in as Diva, but now they've got some good momentum. They might actually be able to take this.
Taimu putting on his carry pants here. I don't even, Hex. Look at this. They're going to get to the checkpoint.
That was insanity.
How did...
He was
He
discorded.
first-
He was all sorts.
What? He snuck over to the side, got on there, and just killed, like, what?
And now look at all these ultimates up. They can ride this momentum all the way through. They have almost 6 ultimates up compared to the one only hard blues up for Mixup.
Yep, so taking a look at this, this is a really good ult situation for IDDQD. And we've seen that Mixup can get a little bit rattled if a team has gotten this far this quickly, so... Mixup now needs to solidify a little bit. Hardblue does have Barrage. That's a good start if he can get behind there, but now he has Coco in his face as Diva. Milo Enigma, though, taking 2 kills each. Seagull coming in, takes out Coco. So a good defensive showing here. Chipsogen not on Mercy. No Resurrect is coming, so IDDQD might have to back up a bit here.
Yeah, they only have a minute. I mean, based on the fact that they've barely been able to capture these last 2 points, they're not going to have the most up for this. So they want to make sure that their next push is coordinated and really kind of their final push here. Internet Hulk goes in really early, Primal Rages. That's going to cause a lot of chaos.
Hang on, fire in the hole. Here comes the Tire. We've seen the Tire do work. It does take out Chipsogen.
Takes up both
So
supports.
Yeah. Seagull gets another kill on the bridge above. Hardblue still laying good damage down from above. A lot of back and forth here, and IDDQD is just going to have to reset again here, Hex.
It's kind of okay, though. They do have Transcendence and Deadeye up, or as I call it, High Noon. I know what it's called, but I prefer High Noon. It's colloquial. So they are going to be able to transcend and then maybe shoot some people in the head.
Yeah, but I mean, given we saw, I'm just watching Taimu. If there's going to be any magic, let's see if Taimu can recapture the magic. Maybe he's going to get tired instead. I don't know. But they're going in. Here comes Taimu. Taimu dodges the hook, takes out Roadhog. That's a good start as they run in. That's 2 quick picks for IDDQD. It's going to be Enigma versus Taimu. Enigma says nuts to that, takes out Taimu.
Just a little too late on that one.
Yep, IDDQD still in there, but Taimu is down. Their big gun is down. Defensive Transcendence coming out here. Offensive Sound Barrier. Both teams throwing their best shots. Pluppy in the back. That's right, Pluppy is on this team. Takes out the Zen in the back. Here comes the Tire. Will the Tire do work? Tire comes down, takes out Chipsogen. Bad day to beat Chipsogen, but look at Pluppy. Pluppy's still on the point.
Alone. And Taimu is now up. Taimu does not have his high noon. I can't believe this.
IDDQD finishes out the map. So wasn't quite as epic as Taimu there, but Pluppy said, okay, Taimu, you had your hero moment. Give me my moment.
That map was just one long fight. When did that fight stop?
I don't know, man.
I mean,
but
from the first point to the last, it was a constant fight. I mean, there was brief moments of resets, but there weren't really full wipes. They were just constantly brawling it out. It was all over the place. That was the longest prolonged fight I've ever seen, and I am stunned that IDDQD actually finished the map. 11:08.
yeah, so, I mean, again, the good takeaway from Mixup here is that this is a super beatable time, and you don't get a more beatable time than that. But, I mean, it's sort of a miracle that IDDQD finished the map to begin with. It took literal heroics on the part of Taimu to bring it there.
That might be the most entertaining match I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, even if IDDQD were to lose the series, I mean, Taimu could just leave with a little bit of a grin on his face after that, because that was just crazy.
That's just bonkers. Hollywood seems to always give us those kind of matches, though, because, you know, like I said, like I was mentioning, what the control points lack is that middle fighting ground between 2 areas of fight. So we have first and last on Hollywood, but Hollywood's most fun is in the, you know, in the building area. It's just the verticality of it, that you have to take high ground, you have to defend high ground. Oh man, what a map. So if IDDQD can stop them at any point, they win Hollywood, and that would be a good start for them in our best of 5. But like you said, it's a very beatable time of 11:08 that Mixup has to beat. So whew, I'm just going to catch my breath for a second.
Yep. So interesting stuff coming out here. The thing about IDDQD, their best chance of winning this map is probably just defending at the first point, because then all the crazy extra time that Mixup was able to buy themselves wouldn't matter. They just stop at the first point and go from there.
Yep.
And take a look at the defense coming out for IDDQD that's going to attempt that. We got the bridge up on the Lucio. Chipsogen on Zenyatta, Internet Hulk, on Symmetra, Taimu, of course on McCree. What else would he be on? Pluppy on Reaper, and Coco on Reinhardt. So, I don't even know, Hex. I'm still just reeling from the last map. That was crazy.
I mean, Taimu was wearing some sort of invisibility cloak. I have no idea how he didn't get dealt with. He was able to like call around the corners. I don't know. He was just escaping every last bullet that would have killed him. He started getting. It's just insane. And then they were able to stall out towards the end enough to bring him back into the fight.
Well, the gates are open now. Things are going. Mix-up on the way. And we're going to see just what Enigma brings to the table on the Widowmaker. I love watching the early Widowmaker play. Oftentimes you can get a pick and just secure the point right off that. But they have to know it's coming, and we'll just see how IDDQD handles it.
Yeah, Hulk is going to be playing his Symmetra. He is a phenomenal Symmetra, and they're going to try to get value out of that. They are not running a Torbjorn, so that is a little different than the defense that Mixup wanted to run here, but it's all going to kind of hinge on Enigma and if he gets value off of this Widowmaker pick early.
Yeah, right now he's still looking for it. He did have a shot. Lucio almost got him. Not quite. And Heartblue going to die got discorded and taken out by Pluppy in the back.
Yeah, Pluppy doesn't even get credit for that kill, though, because Heartblue accidentally blew himself up.
Yep. Taimu takes out Enigma.
Milo
Two quick
just
fixes.
chilling.
Oh, Taimu kicked out Seagull. Taimu, I don't know if he got angry or what, but the beast mode is being unleashed here from Taimu.
Yeah, when a McCree starts hitting every single one of his shots, not just his fan the hammers, he's really in trouble. What really impressed me about Taimu was his evasiveness, which was really on point through our last half of the map. But his rolls have been well timed, just where he's coming in and how he's picking fights. Yeah,
I love how he uses the roll for mobility and reload at the same time. He looked at that. I think he had a bit of a speed boost on him, but he rushed in and got on the other Lucio.
Yep.
He just absolutely fearless.
Yeah, doing that somersault up the stairs. Physics be damned.
Yeah. So, taking a look at this, we see Mix-Up grouping up yet again. With the tire is up, so an offensive rip tire could be in our fortune. Take a look at Pluppy. Pluppy poking in the back. Has to wraith form away. Still might get caught out here. He will go down. Defensive sound barrier is up. Defensive transcendence is out. And we're going to see a bunch of ults blown here by the IDDQD side to push in, and Taimu again, picking some pretty good positioning.
Not certain they needed to use all those ults because now they're in a really big disadvantage when it comes to ultimate abilities. However, the teleporter is up in the back lines. It might get killed out by some spam at some point, but here comes the offensive push with the sound barrier initiation.
Yep, they're coming in. Speed boost up, sound barrier's up. Tire is out. Tire's yet to run into someone. Take a look at the tire. Tire will take out Coco, so a good value there. But meanwhile, the rest of this is still going in favor of IDDQD. They're getting a lot of good defensive picks. And
yeah, they
able
lost
to clean
Heartblue and Enigma really early, then Pure was lost a little bit later in that too, so they didn't get the resurrection up either. The teleporter is still up. We have Taimu with his ult, Pluppy with his ult. They got those by getting kills really early in that fight, and Coco also has his Earth Shatter up.
Yep, so there's stuff coming out here. We do see Pluppy now setting up again. He does have Death Blossom. Some good defensive ults up for IDDQD, and take a look. Pluppy just wants to drop the Death Blossom at any point. He's wraith forming in, and he's actually going back. He decided not to use it there.
Yeah,
he might have had an
conservative.
It doesn't matter though, because Taimu able to take out Milo, and now we see the Mix-Up team on the run, and now we could see. Oh no! Enigma saying nuts to that as he takes out both Pluppy and Chichimjin. Some nice McCree play coming out of Enigma. He is, however, going to get taken out.
Yeah, they are reinforced, though. This teleporter's still up in the back lines, and Mix-Up lost a few of their own in that push as well. Milo alone on the point and discorded.
See, Seagull takes out the teleporter, head in his sights, could back up and go for a rip tire here. We'll see. Defensive sound barrier is up. Here comes the tire. Tire is on the way. Gonna just explode onto Coco, taking the free kill. And Enigma now ganks up on the point, and IDQD a little bit out of sorts.
Yeah, both the supports in back trying to deal with Heartblue, who is discorded, but they just don't have the damage to take him down. Both ultimates are used, and the support ultimates just trying to keep each other alive.
And Taimu just got taken out by Enigma. Enigma brings some counter McCree action to the play. Here comes Pluppy, though. Pluppy with the Death Blossom is going to get axed down by Milo. And Plup, a little bit back and forth here. Charges go forth. Coco on the point. They don't want to give this up just yet, but Coco biting Milo to the death. Axe is out. Reinhardt's swinging mouse one.
By Symmetra at the last second, and they're still holding.
Yeah, that was really, really close. If Milo could have taken Coco out a little bit quicker, it would have happened, but I don't know if you have much control over that in a wild swinging axe fight.
Yeah, they don't have teleporter up just yet either, but they reinforce 30 seconds and they take this map.
Yeah, very good stuff coming out here today, and this is going to be sort of the last guess now for Mixup. Mixup coming in, they drop the offensive sound barrier. They are rushing in. Hardblue with the barrage, trying to take some people out. Doesn't quite do it. Puppy takes out Pure, though. There will be no resurrection for the offense. Taimu takes out Hardblue, and again, we just sort of see a little bit of rolling here from IDDQD. Taimu goes down, though, so there is hope alive. Tires out from Seagull. I'm not sure if that killed anyone or not. Both teams back and forth. Puppy takes out Milo.
Another sound barrier comes
and
down.
There it is.
That's it. Great defense.
IDDQD. Yeah, so IDDQD barely finishing the map on their attack round, but a firm defense on their defensive end, and they're going to take map 1 over Mixup to start things out. So EU striking first and defending their crown in the EU Cup.
Oh, just a gift for Pluppy right there. He's trying to get away and just sees a sniper coming up the stairs. Just free kill, here's some health. Taimu again doing some work there too.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter how long it takes you to capture a map if you just don't let the other team capture a point, is the lesson we learned today.
Pretty much. But nice stuff coming out from IDDQD. They're going to go up 1-0 over Mixup. And now Mixup gets their choice of any of the remaining payload maps in the game, because all payload maps are on the table for this best-of-5 series.
Yeah, well, we aren't going to Hollywood. I would have guessed that IDDQD had a little bit of the advantage on Hollywood just because I've seen them play it so often, and their defense on first point has been staggeringly difficult to break through. Even when we thought they were breaking through there, they just seem to understand kind of the mechanics of how to slow a map down and how to reinforce properly and just stop the team from taking it even when it looks like all is lost.
Yep. No, just good stuff coming out in general. No May, though, which means there's a pledge in chat. We'll add $120 to the prize pool if there's May. May still absent.
You know, Dorado's a decent map for May. You can just completely ice wall that arch, force him to come around the right side and just kind of shut down those stairs.
Yeah.
I mean, probably not going to happen, but possible.
So we do have a map choice coming out here. The map choice is Dorado. So we're going to be going to Dorado for map number 2. Mixup thinking that they can do a little bit more on Dorado when compared to Hollywood. And we'll see how it breaks down. And since we have a short period of time in between maps, big shout out to Maturino for not only helping sponsor the tournament, but providing a great crowdsourcing platform as well. And just to go to the chat here, we're at 430 on the day so far. You can donate by using code GGEU at Maturino.com. It's $1. It's absolutely free. And it would be awesome for the team today if we were able to bring this up to $500. I have faith. 430 right now. Chat, can you guys do it? We'll see. So, sides right now are being chosen. IDDQD wants to be on attack first for Dorado. So, attacking defense teams will stay the same. And IDDQD gets show us what they can do on attack on Dorado.
Yeah, a map that probably favors Mixup, just seeing in the past how Not Enigma was very good on Dorado. It seemed to be their go-to map. IDDQD, though, has shown that they can win any map, and it's really up for grabs for anyone.
Yep. We do have one AFK on the Mixup side, people bioing and all the rest. So, yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what comes out here. We've seen a lot of different strategies, and also don't forget for Dorado, we could be seeing the double Symmetra, or sorry, not double Symmetra, but a double Zenyatta Symmetra Genji Tracer game or composition coming out from Mixup, which would be awesome to see, and also be awesome to see if Mixup has an answer for it, because thus far, every time we've seen that composition come out, it has just rolled through Teams Hex.
Yeah, but the only two teams we've seen actually run that composition are facing each other. I would love to see them actually smash faces with each other and just watch the orbs and the Genji versus Genji and the Tracer versus Tracer go to town. The variation being that Mixup likes to run the Roadhog with it, whereas IDDQD ran a Lucio with it. So definitely different flavors of the tankless composition. I suppose Mixup's is not a tankless composition, but that's what we'll call it for now. We've only seen it on Gibraltar. Maybe it's time for Dorado and get Tracer blown up some pinatas.
Yeah, I mean, I love seeing the Tracer play, and it's just sort of Tracer is another one of those characters with such high variance where a Tracer goes in and uses Pulse Bomb. It's so easy to miss it and then do nothing. But if you hit someone on going in, it's absolutely game changing. We've seen a little bit of that earlier today in an earlier set, and just sort of it's just sort of cool to see these heroes where everything is on such a thin margin in Overwatch where you can either have great defeat or a great victory just off a very tiny play, and it just makes things really exciting to watch.
Yeah, and the variance with Tracer too is if you can track for those headshots. Her damage output can be medium to extremely high if you're able to track all your headshots, but it's often the difference between a kill and a retreat from Tracer.
Yep, so take a look at this. We are preparing to attack here. And taking a look at the defense coming out from Mixup. Again, they're very, very sold on the Junkrat. It's Junkrat all the time, effectively, for Mixup. I'm trying to think. Seagull did switch up, I think, to Genji when they ran the Tracer Genji comp. I think I think he's been on Junkrat pretty much all day.
Yeah, it's been Junkrat all day. Seagull really good with the tires, has been able to get 3Ks on it. The spam, of course, is good. Tactical area denial is good. We don't see a lot of traps used as far as traditional trapping goes, but the mine for mobility has been used quite often because what Junkrat really lacks is kind of his mobility, and he's easy to hit from above, but jumping in the air has thrown a lot of people off trying to kill him. Right now, I think Internet Hulk might be trolling us a little bit. He is running a Mei. Pluppy, of course, is on the Hanzo as well. I think those will change.
I mean, maybe. They might know about the pledge of chat. Who knows? But take a look at the defending end. We got Seagull on the Junkrat, Milo on the Reinhardt, Harblue on the Pharah, Enigma on Torbjorn, Puro on the Symmetra, and Pure rounding things out on the Mercy.
Yep, a lot of Symmetra today, and, you know, even the NA teams adopting Symmetra. It used to be almost a purely European team. Now on offense, we do see a couple of Hanzos. I think they're going to scatter shot right out the gates here.
Nope. No. Only Internet Hulk is Hanzo, and he is trying to make it happen.
Yep, Pluppy
okay,
was
might just switching off with that.
Switch to actual Widowmaker. Internet Hulk going back onto Winston, the only Winston really that we've seen today.
Take a look at Pluppy. Pluppy trying to thread the needle in that snipe spot. I like it. Gets a little bit of verticality. Snipes Pharah in the... not quite in the head, but almost. Nice stuff coming out from Pluppy, even not getting the kill. So, IDDQD pushing up pretty quickly here. Not a whole lot of resistance. Mixup deciding to defend a little bit further back and look at Pluppy getting those grapple shots, using the momentum from grappling hook to look for picks. I really like it. And he takes out Seagull. That is a lot of defensive power now down for Mixup. And I gotta expect IDDQD is gonna try and push in off this. And Pluppy takes out Harblue as well. The gates are open, Hex.
Yeah, Hawk with the initiation immediately after that pick comes down. They're taking down all the static defense here, and this is a very clear road to the first point in a very quick time.
Yeah, and Mixup's probably just gonna have to hold it for the first point, regroup, and look to go out for it. I mean, if you lose both Harblue and Seagull to a Widowmaker, you just gotta hold the L and go to the next point. Oh my god, did he just pick both of them again?
Yes, he did.
Pluppy, his portrait is on fire right now, Hex, but I'm not sure that's doing him justice because he is literally picking the Mixup team apart right now.
I really like what they're doing right here with Internet Hulk up with Pluppy. He's going to try to, actually, he's hiding. I thought he was going to jump out and be the bait for people to come in on him while Pluppy picked them off from a distance, but Internet Hulk and Pluppy working together in the front lines.
He has an unfriendly Diva house call right now. We're seeing Milo getting deep in on that, or perhaps it's an Enigma. I'm not sure, but take a look. Pluppy takes out Milo! Styling is Pluppy right now. This is amazing. He's getting shots on both supports. Both supports are under a lot of duress right now.
Yeah, they're not even really certain where he is right now. They're gonna have to send Harblue all the way back to try to deal with Pluppy. He finally goes down, but it made so much room, and this cart has been moving non-stop.
Pluppy put on a show, and it really hurt the defensive mix-up. And look at Taimu. Taimu's like, hey, wait a second, I'm still a thing. As Taimu picks up a triple kill. In short order, that being said, the infamous tire is coming out. And it's going to take out Coco with a tire to the head, but that might not be enough to hold IDDQD as they are making an incredibly fast time here.
Yeah, Milo and Diva is going to do his best to stall the cart, but it's just not enough against the 5 that are already there. They're in a great position with their ultimates up, and we could see that great synergy between the Earth Shatter and the High Noon come down at some point, while all being healed by the Transcendence. They've got a real triple threat on offensive combos here.
Yeah. So, taking a look at this as things go over. Harblue does have Barrage up. This could be very useful in stemming the IDDQD tide. So, Harblue going to get taken by Pluppy. He is going to resurrect back up. He can immediately go for the Barrage here if he wants. Taimu with the Deadeye takes out Puro. And again, you just sort of see this where Mixup is not able to really solidify themselves.
No, I mean, it's a one-shot High Noon, which is not the greatest, but it is taking out the Zenyatta, which really depowers the rest of the team. Internet Hawk has been great at just disrupting everything. The shields aren't as great as they used to be, but his...
Oh, take a look at Harblu. Harblu in the back. The barrage does take out Coco, but it ends there as the cart is still making a lot of consistent progress here.
Yeah, Hulk has Primal Rage up too. Now he can start knocking everyone away from the cart to solidify this final push if they so choose.
Fluffy pulls out the Death Blossom, but most of it is negated by shields. That being said, the shotguns pick up 2 kills right after. The Resurrect comes out from Pure. Both teams really fighting out here. Defensive Spawn's helping mix up a lot. Puppy and Internet Hulk pick up a kill each. And the momentum is still very much in IDDQD's favor, Hex.
Yeah, Hulk being very patient on when to pop this Primal Rage. He never really got below the threshold of health that made him worried about it. Primal Rage is just knocking everyone away from the cart. It ends up being the real cap on sealing those final points, able to reposition people away from the objective so they're not able to stall it out. Internet Hulk with the play of the game.
I love that intro, by the way. Internet Hulk, that's a great intro. And that was a ridiculous time set, too. I mean...
Yeah, I was waiting for him during this play to finally pop it. As soon as he heard the Riptire, he popped his Primal Rage to get that extra HP and really just move everyone out of the way of the cart to knock that victory in. And 351 is an insane time on Dorado.
Yeah, IDDQD looking very strong there, but got to give it up for Pluppy. Pluppy with pick after pick. He just did not let Mixup really get settled on defense at all. It's pretty hard when you're losing 2 people every 10 seconds to... Pluppy, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, Pluppy's gonna plup, and I think we've seen that offensive Widow on that map before, and I think it was Melty's crew did it. And now the Widow in Overwatch or the sniper class in Overwatch, the Widow can be so effective because of her mobility and her entire kit that once the Widow starts rolling and gets a kind of a free run towards the other team's spawn, it's just really hard to deal with it. You saw them having to send a D.Va back, and D.Va got dealt with by the Widow in one-on-one situation. They finally had to send Harblu back, but while they're getting sent back, no one else is able to stop the cart, and that cart rolled pretty much, unfettered for a while.
Well, they put all that focus on Pluppy. It's like, by the way, Taimu is still a thing, and Taimu actually, after Pluppy died, Taimu cleaned up with 3 kills, so... I mean, there's a definite double threat thing going on with IDDQD where you focus too much on Taimu, Pluppy's gonna pick you apart, and vice versa.
So that is a super fast time on Dorado, and they might have to actually bust out some sort of different, strange, super aggressive composition, more aggressive than what they even normally run to try to beat it.
Yeah, I mean, 351, the Mixup is going to have to move, and then some. And take a look at the defense of IDDQD. As it rolls out, we got Chipsogen on the Torbjorn, Internet Hulk on Symmetra, Taimu on McCree, Coco on Reinhardt, and the Bridge Up on Lucio, and Pluppy, perhaps getting a little bit of Tire Revenge of his own as he reps the Junkrat.
But we are gonna see the tankless composition, tankless plus Roadhog. Not that he's not a tank, but that's just what we called it when we saw the IDDQD version of this. We're gonna see double Zenyatta run by Pure and Pyro. Harblu is gonna play Symmetra, Enigma on Tracer, Seagull on Genji, and Milo will run that Roadhog. So this is the super aggressive composition that is capable of putting up a 4-minute time on Dorado. But they're gonna have to try to do something to take down these turrets. Gonna be a fun matchup.
I think the Torbjorn's actually going to be really good against this just because, honestly, the turret is kind of a problem for Tracer and Genji. It auto-tracks, it doesn't really care about your evasiveness, so we'll see just how this works out. Take a look at this here. I think Enigma's going to have some issues with Taimu. Good McCrees can give good Tracers fits, and just hang on, just I say that. Taimu versus Enigma. Enigma able to blink away, and Seagull is able to take out the turret, so turret is going to go down. Seagull with some long-range Genji spam. A little bit of good progress being made here by Mixup, and they do need to move, though, Hex, more so than anything else.
Yeah, the benefit that IDDQD has against this composition is that they run it. They know exactly what they're up against right now after seeing it, and they probably have some theories on how to counter it properly.
Yeah, I think the Torbjorn will be giving them issues. I mean, sure, it got Genji spammed out there, but it's going to definitely make things a little bit rough for Enigma. Enigma, though, in the back looking for a pick, meets the wrong side of Taimu, but hey, he's still making... Taimu sweat here. Will he be able to pick up Taimu? Is back and forth. Taimu going to go down. The orb saving Enigma there, and Taimu goes down. That's a great pick. Good play by that. A little bit back and forth here as Harblu and Pyro go down. Enigma takes up Pluppy.
Yeah, the pulse bomb gets wasted on the turret, though, because the turret does end up getting Molten Core.
Oh, Seagull reflects the turret into Reinhardt, takes out Reinhardt, and now a little bit of very vital pushing coming out from Mixup.
That's just dirty. It always sucks when you get something reflected back at you that you didn't even shoot.
You just kind of want to rage your teammates at that point. Taimu, though, takes out Seagull. I think that was a quick two-shot on Seagull, and take a look at Pluppy here. Pluppy is going to have Tyre up any moment.
Offensive teleporters up. It's really going to power this push. They should be able to reinforce rather quickly, kind of playing the role of Mercy here. If you die, you're resurrected via teleport.
Look at the Tyre. It's being sneaky. It only has 3 seconds left. Is it going to find anyone? Oh, no. That is a disaster. Meanwhile, I think the rest of the defense is still holding strong, despite the fact that the Tyre literally ran into no one.
Hey, that Tyre cleared some space. It made everyone afraid, so they had to retreat. That's what it did.
I guess so, because off the Peacemaker of Taimu, IDDQD was still able to hang on there regardless. So, we see the defensive IDDQD solidifying a bit, and certainly this has been a little bit problematic for Mixup relative to the other times around this comp.
A really nice Earth Shatter does stall that push out. He takes the Zenyatta Pure all the way back to spawn and ends up killing him, does Coco.
Oh, really look at the awareness! Seagull almost ran into that trap, takes out the trap, and now is in the back, takes out Pluppy. Some good heads-up play for Seagull as he gets in the back line, is able to get some kills. Internet Hulk, though, still regulating. He's had a more deadly Symmetra than most.
Yeah, more kills than you generally see on Symmetra, but now this composition is rolling, and when this composition gets really dangerous, when this momentum starts coming and they're able to make the other team into odd positions, and when they're able to force the other team to stagger deaths, once this composition, this tankless composition gets rolling, it is insanely difficult to stop.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's rolling now, and against most teams, I'd say Mixup was in good shape. But given the absolutely ridiculous pace that IDDQD set, looking at the time, there's only 45 seconds left for Mixup, and I'm not even sure they can win this mathematically with 3 people on the payload the entire time, let alone against the very impressive defense of IDDQD.
No, IDDQD just has to stall a little bit to really take this map and go up 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, Seagull, Nigma, getting a pick each. Puppy is Hanzo now. Was able to get out Heartblue, got taken out as well. Zenyatta finding himself in a rough position here, but in the end, I'm not even sure IDDQD cares too much because they have, without a doubt, won this map, Hex.
Yeah, they're going to call GG right now, actually. It's just the defense on the first point was too much, and I believe that this composition probably could have captured the map in the end, but not in 401. Just a really strong offensive time. It ended up being the best defense that IDDQD could have.
So, we're going to get to see the Truck of Tears led by Mixup here as they push the card up. We'll get to see what the play of the game is, and now Mixup, we're going to see what map they choose for map number 3 because they are now down 2-0 versus IDDQD, and they are facing elimination from this tournament right now.
Yeah, match point coming up next, and they've been close matches, but IDDQD, as we predicted, has been just the better team by a small margin.
Yeah, I mean, I liked what we saw from Mixup coming out there, just they weren't able to get out in time, and to be honest, short of running their own Widow and getting a bunch of really crazy picks as well, I don't know how you beat that time, honestly. I mean, that's just a very difficult time to beat.
Yeah, I mean, that composition with the Widowmaker is almost all about momentum as well, and they just were never able to get the momentum on their their tankless version, or tankless variation, that they needed. And once they get stalled out once or twice, you can't roll that into a snowbally effect that we've seen this composition be capable of, and just not quick enough on this map.
So we'll see what the play of the game was, and IDDQD, I mean, we sort of expected this going in, but they're looking super, super strong right now, Hex. Taimu, who else?
Yeah.
You can have all the orbs and shields on you in the world, but if you get stunned against a corner and eat a right click, you are going to die.
What Time is doing so well that I think makes him a great McCree is that, you know, everyone can hit their fan the hammers and everyone can hit their flashbangs, but his mobility and his ability to just kind of poke away with his regular primary fire has put him a step above the rest. He's barely missing shots, but really just his use of the mobility to engage fights and disengage and reload at the same time has been really impressive today.
Yep. So we're going to be heading to map number 3. We don't know what it is just yet. We only know that it will be one of the payload maps because that is how the map pool and banning worked out in the beginning.
Yeah, going into the finals in our EU, I wonder if there's any kind of lag that's forcing them into a composition that they don't want to be in necessarily for mix-up. I know there's been some complaints that some of the projectile classes aren't the greatest to play across a region, but since we are playing in EU, we're staying on EU, so IDDQD has that small advantage.
Yep. Yeah, so, I mean, for Mixup here, I think Mixup thought they could take them on Dorado. That was their first pick as a return, so they're going to have to go to their second most favored map, effectively.
I wonder if we'll see Gibraltar here. Mixup played really well in Gibraltar.
Yeah, Mixup, yeah, you think back to when they also ran that comp with only a Roadhog as tank with two Zenyatas, Symmetra, Genji Tracer. They, what's it called? I said a very, very impressive time, and there it is. They are going to go to Gibraltar.
We need to find a cooler name for that composition, because apparently it's just not tankless, so that the core of that composition is double Zenyatta, Genji, and Tracer. So I am petitioning chat for ideas to call that composition. Double Zen doesn't really sound that great. Chat is much more creative than I am, so I beg you, think of a cool name for that composition, because I think we're going to see a little more of it.
Yep. So one thing that we might see here, and I don't know if it's the chat or whatnot, but I mean, the chat is waiting. Will IDDQD bust out the May? Do they have enough style and swagger to make this the coolest of map threes? I don't regret that pun at all.
Swagger, huh?
Style and swagger. I mean, when I see May, I think style and swagger. I don't know about you.
It's the parka, right? That's the style part.
I think so.
Well, Gibraltar is not the best May map. Not really a lot of doors you can shut down with your ice wall. I guess you can do it right at the initial spawn, though.
You can.
But yeah, we're going to Gibraltar. I imagine that one of these teams will show us that composition, very light composition, double Zen composition. Again, see, we need chat to come up with a name. But this is where we've seen it. We saw it yesterday on this map. We saw it twice today on this map. We just saw it on Dorado, but Gibraltar is the name of the game here. It's mostly because the mobility of the character is able to get in and kind of force the defense into odd positions. So IDDQD is on match set, though. If they take this, they are the winners of the GosuGamers EU Weekly.
Yep. And IDDQD, they will be defending their crown because they won, of course. Last week, they won not only the EU Cup, but the NA Cup. So you got to think if they take the EU Cup today, they're also going to be bringing a powerful presence to the NA Cup tomorrow. And that being said, if you are in Overwatch and you do have a team, definitely sign up. There's still room for the NA Cup tomorrow. And be some good games there on all sorts, and we'll probably see more of IDDQD and Mixup.
Yeah, good call. I think teams almost just forget with all these tournaments and teams trying to register for everything that we had, I think, 10 today this morning, and I sent out a tweet about an hour before the tournament, and then we all of a sudden had 16 teams because teams just, it's not that they don't want to play, they just forget. So we do need you to sign up for the GosuGamers NA, which will be tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. So we're just waiting for both teams to get right here. A little bit of bio breaking, a little bit of just stepping away in general from both teams. It's been an intense set so far. Mixup now fighting for their tournament life against the juggernaut that is IDDQD.
Yep. And while you have a moment, and while we have a moment, if you haven't gone to matcherino.com, hit up that Matcherino in chat, type in the code GGEU. That throws $1 into the prize pool pot. We are up to 432. And I know that's supplemented by other things, our other sponsors as well as Roccat and DX Racer. Thank you very much for your support on Matcherino, and thank you to our sponsors as well. And without you guys watching, this would not be possible. With that said, let us go to Gibraltar and see if IDDQD can close out the set against Mixup.
That should be pretty interesting. And Mixup, again, we've seen some very strong stuff from them on this map, but we've seen really strong stuff from IDDQD as well. So straight up, I don't actually know who's going to take this map.
No, they both look really good on this map today so far.
Yeah, although I'm trying to think, it wasn't Melty who had the incredible defense against them that prevented the hanger phase from even beginning, or am I misremembering?
It sounds about right. That could be very possible. Sounds like a Melty thing to do to run a very solid defense.
Internet Hulk is teasing us now. He has the May on offense, but
he's done this twice.
Will he actually be? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I really believe him.
I'm not buying it.
The people demand May, but I don't know if we're going to get to see May.
But, you know,
that being said,
IDDQD is a fun team, and, you know, they're up 2. They could give a game away if they wanted to, and maybe that's why he's okay running May.
That would be arrogant, so if they came back and lost the series. That being said, looking at the defense for Mixup, we got Seagull on the 76, Milo on the defensive Widow, Harblue on Pharah, Enigma on Reaper, Puro on the Zenyatta, and Pure on Widow, or Mercy, rather. So some interesting change-ups there. A, no Junkrat. B, defensive Widow. Wow, Hex.
Yeah, I think they want to kind of play the distance game here. We saw earlier their defense was holding up front inside the spawn gates. Now they're just running very distance-oriented heroes in 76, and of course the defensive sniper and Widowmaker. Offensively, it looks like we are seeing that composition again, but this is IDDQ's variation of it, where they don't run a Roadhog, they run a Lucio, but this is the double Zen Tracer Genji comp.
Is a truly tankless comp. I've said tankless a few times when there's been a Roadhog, and that's because there's such a strong impression from when IDDQD first sent it, or ran this, but it is a true tankless comp this time. I am not misspeaking. So, take a look here. We do have Widow trying to get some pokes up, but finds Internet Hulk, zapping him in the back. Internet Hulk going for the Zenyatta as well. Not able to quite get that. Both teams trading off kills back and forth here. And a bit of an aggressive defense coming out from Mixup, but I think IDDQD is going to get through it, and the payload is moving, Hex.
Yeah, I think the trades actually benefit a team that's running this kind of composition that IDDQD is. Pluppy is getting in very quickly. He's going to be at the doors to greet them, but they are countering with double Diva, double Winston, Lucio, and Mercy going very heavy on their tanks.
Double Winston, this is bringing us back to the good old days of last week before the nerf. And oh, wow, Taimu just blows up Harblue. He's going to get rezzed by Pure, though, so fight still is being engaged. We do have... I think we had Dragon Blade out for Pluppy, did not get the value he was looking for. And Seagull on Diva, this is new.
Yeah, I think I've actually heard Seagull say this. I was watching a stream a little bit. The counter to Genji, and this was even before the Genji nerf, is just to have everyone run tanks, because he can't actually kill anyone.
But is a counter, I was going to say, is that actually true? Seagull might be wrong, because they're running all tanks, and they're getting crunched as IDDQD just rolls to the second point.
Yeah, this momentum is really carrying IDDQD through this. Taimu and Pluppy are just going nuts, both with an orb, pushing them so far back.
Yeah, I don't think the old tank strategy is actually working at this. I mean, you see Pluppy just going ham in the backfield. Tank, no tank, squishy, not squishy. Everything is dying right now, Hex.
Yeah.
This is pandemonium on the Mixup side.
I mean, the tank in theory should work, that they have such a high health pool that it's very difficult for these heroes to take out. But the damage output from Genji is so high that it almost doesn't even matter. And at some point, staying alive isn't enough. You have to kill people.
And you might have to call PETA here, because Taimu is slaughtering gorillas left, right, and center. I don't know. I'm not actually feeling the double Winston strategy here. In fact, they switched off the double Winston. Harblue is back on Pharah here, so bit of a switch up.
Yeah, I do like the switch. They're going to stay on the Divas. I think the Divas are respectable against this kind of composition, but Milo going on Roadhog I think is really smart, and Harblue is...
3 quick kills for IDDQD here, as they're just tearing through this hangar with remarkable ease.
Yeah, and that's going to be the point for them. This is one of the fastest times I've ever seen on Gibraltar so far.
This is absolutely crazy. They have 8 minutes, 24 seconds left on the final point. I don't even know what I'm watching, Hex.
You're watching Pluppy go absolutely crazy, and Mixup trying to scramble for an answer, so much so that Harblue is now off of Pharah, and he's going to be playing Symmetra. Is Symmetra the answer?
Wait, are they switching to They're switching to their own form of it, except with the Roadhog instead of a Lucio. They're almost a mirror match here.
Yeah, not surprising. The initial kind of theory that they had was to run tanks at it. That did not work at all, so now they're going to be switching. But the problem with switching to all your different heroes is no one's got ultimates up, whereas 3 ultimates are up and ready for IDDQD.
Yeah, and honestly, the Roadhog versus 2 Zenyatas might have an issue. He gets double discorded. He's going to get on to just the most minor of poking. We do have the defensive sound barrier coming up, and they're going to rush in off that Coco with 2 quick kills on Zenyatta. Taimu rushes in, takes out Puro, has the other Zenyatta in his sights, and right now, Mixup just looks absolutely helpless. I mean, IDDQD is bringing it to them, and then some. Down goes Zenyatta. Oh my goodness.
Double Transcendence on the card. A little bit of a waste, but they can afford it. Maybe this card still isn't
This is an absolute shellacking. IDDQD is just. This is. Oh. IDDQD just rolls to one of the fastest Gibraltar times I think we've ever seen. Wow.
I mean, Mixup it looked like Mixup had an answer for it, at least in theory. That when they came out like this, we're like, that's fine. This is what we do to counter that. Knowing that it's possible and that they run it too. So the double Winston, double D.Va, double Lucio, it was just let's all live. Don't let them get any kills. Don't let it get any momentum. But at some point, you have to start pushing back and get kills. So they tried to switch to Hard Blue to add in that damage they were missing with them. That didn't work out. Eventually, they went to their own combination, but it was too late. You're giving up such an advantage in your ultimate charges by then to switch to a composition at last point that it was absolutely too late. Double Transcendence rolled through. This composition is dangerous.
Well, one thing I think is clear, I mean, it's a sample size of 1, so maybe it's correct and it just IDDQD played through it, but I don't think rolling out the bunch of tanks actually works against that, because those tanks were just getting carved through by the relentless offense of IDDQD.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not those particular tanks. Maybe you just run like 5 Roadhogs. I don't know what the answer is. If Mixup can't figure out the answer to it, then I'm doomed.
Yeah, I don't know, but we are switching sides here, and now Mixup going to be fighting for their lives. They need to beat the incredibly fast time set by IDDQD. If they do not beat that time, then it's going to be IDDQD's map, it's going to be IDDQD's series, and it's going to be IDDQD's tournament, as they will run away with the grand finals with a prize pool now that is up to $436, courtesy of Matcherino.com and all our other great sponsors here today, Rocket and DX Racer.
I mean, that just watching that composition just takes your breath away. You have no time to breathe. Can't even imagine trying to play against that. That's brutal.
That was vicious.
I mean, I think the answer starts with a Roadhog. I don't know how you build around that. Perhaps a Zarya could come in, but with Zarya's recent nerfs, that's also difficult. That hurts. We saw that perhaps Torbjorn might be a kind of an answer, but not really, because Genji can reflect his turret back into him. I'm not entirely certain what stops this composition right now. We're going to see if this traditional kind of defense from IDDQD is able to stop it.
So, 15 seconds left until Mixup begins their offensive pressure here. We're going to see how it works out. And we do have Pluppy on a Defensive Widow. So, Defensive Widow coming out from both teams here, Hex.
Yeah, they're really kind of shying away from the really aggressive holds that we saw early on. But I think it's really just trying to keep your distance. You don't want this composition to be able to get on top of you and be able to roll over you, which is why we see the Widowmaker and we see this turret gun as well.
Pluppy just going to get taken out immediately by Enigma, so not the best opening for Pluppy. Enigma shutting down the Widow very quickly. And that's going to force IDDQD back a bit, and it's definitely what Mixup needed.
Hawk on the 76 able to do a little bit of work too. Taimu on the McCree also able to take down some of these smaller classes as well. They are trading off kills pretty quickly.
Enigma's picked up 3 kills here so far. He is on fire. He's picking the right moments, and he is making space and really maximizing the chances that Mixup can beat the absolutely ridiculous time set by IDDQD.
Yeah, how is Enigma still alive back here? He's behind the tanks getting shot down by this turret. Seagull comes in and takes down Coco.
Yeah, Seagull's in the back. I'm actually surprised they're running a Reinhardt versus this. They had to know this comp is coming. I wonder if Reinhardt is really the best tank to be running versus this.
We've seen that no, he's not the best tank to be running versus this. I think it might just become a comfort thing. If someone's really that much more comfortable on Reinhardt, it's still pretty decent, especially given the composition they have on this defense. The Reinhardt can sit in front of their Widowmaker and their 76 and allow them cover.
Puppy's back over. Actually, got the shot on Seagull, got deflected. Take Seagull out there, and now let's see if he can get more value on the Widow. We actually have a drop now for Mixup. They are down Milo. And, wow, IDDQD being true sportsmen, they are offering a remake.
Yeah,
they don't have to offer a remake, but they are offering.
To watch this end in this manner, though.
Yep, so they're offering remake. This is a lot of sportsmanship coming out from IDDQD. And, okay, Mixup is just...
It seems as though Mixup has declined the remake, and they're calling GG. So an unceremonious end to our grand finals as IDDQD gets another concession, as they did in the first round. IDDQD played really well, and they earned it. It's tragic that we don't get to see this played out or remade, but I guess that's going to be how it is. And IDDQD are winners of the GG Overwatch Weekly.
But apparently Milo's PC now thinks he no longer has Overwatch installed. There's like multiple ways of taking that statement, X. I don't know. We'll just leave it as is. So IDDQD taking it in a very, very impressive 3-game set.
Yeah, I mean, it was going to be really, really tough for Mixup to be able to beat that time, and I think they understood that, which is why they were so quick to just call it as it was. They were already getting kind of stopped in their initial push even before Milo went down. So unfortunately for us, that's going to be how it ends. IDDQD is going to take it 3-0, and who can beat these guys? IDDQD been on an absolute tear lately. This is the second week in a row they've won one of our tournaments. Yeah, this composition is crazy and they're executing it very well.
Yeah, really, really good stuff coming up from them. And I mean, what a great finals in the sense that it wasn't the closest finals, but IDDQD sort of showed us a lot of great plays and a lot of where Overwatch comp could be going to, and they definitely defended their title as the best team in EU this week.
Yeah,
and
I mean, it's not even up for debate. They're the best team in Europe, and almost by extension, all of Overwatch, because some of the NA teams have been playing, but not playing, not playing. IDDQD is on that trajectory of we're going to play every week and we're going to beat everyone every week. I mean, is there a team that you can honestly say is better than IDDQD right now?
Right now, I don't think so. I mean, looking at scrim results and everything, I think in a lot of cases, even if they go up against Envious, I think the money would be on IDDQD right now. And I said as someone who, has loved Envious and following them through here, IDDQD has really been the team to beat thus far. They've been amazing. They've been grinding out, and they might just be the kings of Overwatch right now. That being said, towards the end, we got a big donation towards the prize pool. Big shout outs to Friedolf. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, Friedolf. Saying GG with a $19 donation. So biggest shout outs to Friedolf. Thank you a ton, man. It supports the teams involved here, and yeah.
So are we going to try to get a winner's review, or are we just
will.
Okay.
So we're going to take a short break, guys. We're going to try and round up someone from IDDQD, maybe interrogate them a little bit about Pluppy finally committing. Got commitment out of him. It's so hard to get out of people. And we'll be right back, so stay tuned.